Hi everybody. This video is regarding the concepts related to the big M. This is a bit complex and difficult area to understand, but I'll try to make it very simple. We have to just keep in mind a few things when we try to understand a scenario and a problem. This big M is generally associated with fixed charge problems, where a decision to produce results involves some lump sum cost or a fixed charge in addition to per unit cost of profit. In earlier cases, we always calculated profit by multiplying per unit, but if there is a fixed cost involved even to produce a single unit, in that case we cannot simply ignore the fixed cost and simply multiply the factor of profit with the number of units. We have to calculate or optimize our decision whether to produce those goods or not. So that question of whether to produce or not is duality in behavior. That is where we have two questions in our mind. That is, first question is how much to produce, how many units to produce. And the second question is whether to produce or not. These are the two simple associated things which you can identify from a question when you formulating the question. If you find any question with these two nature, how much to produce and whether to produce or not, in those cases you should go for big M. In big M, let's see how can we associate these two things. Let's take an example of cost to lease or setup cost required to prepare a machine or production line, cost to construct a new production line, or cost of hiring likewise. In these examples, fixed costs are the new costs that will be incurred if a particular action or a decision is made. This is what I was trying to explain here. Now coming to formulate this, it has two parts. The variable definition. As we said, we have two things in mind, how much to produce and whether to produce or not. So in earlier simple cases, we just had number of units or number amount or some fixed per units as a decision variable. Now, along with the definition or along with the decision variable, we also have something called binary variable associated to judge whether that item will be produced or not. So when you see xi as the amount of product I to be produced, yi is the binary that says whether xi is produced or not. Let's see. In this case, when we see xi, yi, xi represents the amount and yi is binary. That means if xi is produced, that is if xi is greater than 0, then yi is 1. If there is nothing produced, then yi is 0. This is the variable part. Coming back to the linking constraint in the binary constraint part. That is, yi is the binary constraint. That is, it is binary in nature. Now what is this linking constraint? This linking constraint is nothing but it's a linkage. It's the linkage if you produce x, that linkage, if you produce x, then y has to be greater than, if we produce x, that is x value is greater than 0, then y value is 1. If you don't produce x, that means x would be 0, then y value is equal to 0. Now how can we implement it? This is implemented through something called linking constraint. This linking constant value is always less than 0. How we do it is, we say x is less than equals to my. This y, we know it's binary. This x has some amount of values. Now this m is nothing but a very large value. This represents the upper bound of x. If this is a graph, x can be like this, then this is m. So if this is y, for values of like different values, if this is x which is changing, then m represents that upper bound value, and for which x will never exceed. It can be a very huge number. Now coming back to the creation of this constraint, how we do it is x less than my. Suppose x can be value from 1 to 10, then m can be a value from 11 to infinite. That means m has to be always larger than x. This is the idea of big M. Now see how imposing this restriction we link them. We have two cases: if x is produced or x is not produced. This is x not produced, x is produced. Let's say x can take values from 1 to 10, and m be let's say 100. Now say x is not produced. Okay, x is not produced. So left hand side it will be 0, and the right hand side it will be 100 multiplied by, if x is 0, we'll see, if x is 0, then y is 0. So RHS is also 0. Now let's say x is produced. X is produced and has a value 5. It can be random, anything between 1 to 10. If it has a value 5, if x is greater than 0, y is 1. So when y is 1, then m is 100. In that case, the RHS side would be 100. So 5 is less than 100. So we are able to keep this equation valid. If you go for some other value, let's say 10, in that case 10 is also less than 100. So we have to choose such a value for m which can represent the upper bound. This is the whole concept, and the equation that represents is x less than equals to ny. And how you can do it in equations is you can either use x minus my less than equals to 0. So this x minus my is nothing but our linking constant. First, we have two variables. This is binary and this is amounts, and we have an character called big M, and the equation x minus my less than equals to 0 represents the linking constant. There is one more concept associated. This is for normal fixed charge problems, but there can be a special scenario in which we have to produce a minimum size or minimum lot size, or there is a minimum investment requirement. In those cases, apart from linking constant, we need to have one more constant associated. That constant is called minimum constraint, and that will also use the linking constraint along with the minimum value to create the minimum constraint. Let's take an example. In the earlier question, like in an earlier example, x was supposed to be x less than equals to my. X less than equals to my. This was our big M fundamental. Now we have a limitation, like if x has to be produced, then it has to be a minimum of 40. For example, if x has to be produced, it has to be a minimum of 40. In that case, what we can do is we have to use another constant called minimum. This is an extension of a previous thing. In the previous thing, we had a variable to denote how much amount to produce, another variable, binary variable, to denote whether to produce or not. Now, to link them, we had the linking constant using big M. Coming next, if we produce x, it has to be at least 40. There is a minimum requirement. For that, we need to use another equation, like x has to be greater than equals to 40. Like if you produce x, then it has to be 40. So to translate that, we have in normal scenario, if you say like x has to be greater than equals to 40, then this much is suffice. But our scenario is if you produce x, it has to be greater than 40. That is, you associate 40 with y. Y is a binary. If x is produced, then y is 1 and it has to be greater than 40. So this constraint is called minimum constraint, minimum requirement constraint. This constraint here is linking constraint and this is minimum requirement constraint. This is basically the complete concept that you may need in order to do the big N or to solve big N problems. Thank you.